Walk with me.
A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge all right, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. The eyes of the I am are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. A fool despises his father's instruction, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the revenues of the wicked is trouble. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doeth not so. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination unto the I am, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. Correction is grievous to him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die. Hell and destruction are before the I am. How much more then the hearts of the children of men? A scorner loveth not one that reproveth him, neither will he go unto the wise. A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of heart the spirit is broken. The heart of him that hath understanding seeketh knowledge, but the mouth of fools feedeth on foolishness. All the days of the afflicted are evil, but he that is of a merry heart hath continual feast. Better is little with the fear of the I am than great treasure and trouble therewith. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a stalled ox and hatred therewith. A wrathful man stirreth up rife, but he that is slow to anger appeases strife. The way of the slothful man is an hedge of thorns, but the way of the righteous is made plain. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish man despiseth his mother. Folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom, but a man of understanding walketh uprightly. Without counsel purposes are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors they are established. A man hath joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season. How good is it? The way of life is above to the wise, that he might depart from hell beneath. The I am will destroy the house of the proud, but he will establish the border of the widow. He that is greedy of gain troubleth his own house, but he that hateth gifts shall live. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. The I am is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayer of the righteous. The light of the eyes rejoiceth the heart, and a good report maketh the bones fat. The ear that heareth the reproof of life abideth among the wise, and he that refuses instructions despises his own soul. But he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. The fear of the I am is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. Proverbs chapter 15. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits, who have swayed the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. establish thou me and my seed, that we go not astray henceforth and forever. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes. All praises, all praises, all praises. We thank God for his mercy, and his mercy which tended to favor, which leadeth even us to change our ways, which is repentance unto that which is lawful, and his statutes, commandments, and ordinances into that obedience. We thank God for that, and we thank God for you and you. Yes, you're with Mr. Clay. I am Mr. Clay, and we also thank God for those of you that have been with us since the beginning, here's and there's about, and we thank God for those of you who have just subscribed, as well as those of you who are thinking about subscribing. And also we thank God for those of you who are just incognito, and we call those things that are not as though they are. All praises to the Most High. Yes, we're in the last chapter of the book of Ezra, chapter 10, as you prepare. Yes, we're looking in the days of evil. Have you noticed how these false prophets and people that have become, use the Bible as more superstition than as a way of life? We don't worry about how the world is ending. We worry about how we're living right now. We worry about that we are pleasing our God and doing that which is right, according to as he has instructed Moses to give to the children of Jacob. That's what we're worried about. That's what we're concerned about, if you want to put it that way. We're concerned about that. As far as who's bombing who or who's killing who, that's not our, what is that to us? That's God's doing, to his plan. You study trying to figure out God instead of trying to understand and know God. For God is our resource. While you doing all that, the world is the heathen and the pagans, the pagan Israelites and the pagan Christians and the pagan, everybody they're under. God is looking for those who would want to worship him and love him. This is why he chose Jacob. This is why he chose Abram. Abram chose that he would not worship such dumbness as a figurine to bow down himself to. But yet he destroyed his whole father's entourage of stupid, dumb idols. He did. And for that, God had really blessed him and chose him that he should bring forth seed unto the glory of the Most High. Now you think that seed, he chose a seed out of a seed out of a seed, until he gets to that one where Daniel describes as a small stone hewn out of a mountain. See, it's going to be small according to the population that have been, that is, and yet to be in the earth. It's very small. Because people love to see things. They love lies because it's popular. You have so many falsehoods in this world, and the simplest things that God put forth, including his commandments, statutes, ordinances, and laws, are set right before us. You don't even have to read much, just one chapter. And it's there, because you're going to do the rest either way. When you love him and know that his way, although it does make wise the simple. Yes. Now into the book of Nehemiah, not Nehemiah, that's next. Next coming up is the book of Nehemiah. Yes, we're going through it. It's not in chronological orders, but these are the ones of the restoration of the temple. Yes, they are the ones mentioned in the restoration, including Ruth. Yes, Ruth is too. And yes, they all are in cahoots with this. And Esther. Yes, the book of Esther. Job was well before Abram. Matter of fact, Job was, even during the time of, he was a very old man. He was in the time of Moses. Also, according to the book of Jasher. And Ezra chapter 10, the last verse, and we're going to have a good rest before the Most High, even that which he has ordained. This is the true Israelites weekend. Today's preparation. You prepare for this evening, or maybe your Sabbath has already come because of the way the times have fallen if you're on a certain other part of the planet. But we prepare. This is like our Friday and the next day. But the way of the true child of Jacob, or one who aspires to be known among Jacob, is the Sabbath moves. It moves. It's just not in one set place, just like the sun and the moon. They are not in one set place. The world hates this. They want to dictate to you which day on a certain schedule you will worship, you will follow God, you will do this. Everything is set, and people love that. They think it's structure. That's why you can't stand God. That's why you're so lost. That's why you say, I don't want no confusion. No, you're confused because you're so used to doing things the way you do it and the way you know it, instead of knowing the truth and walking after that truth regardless. Now, chapter 10, verse 1. Now when Ezra had prayed, we will talk about the prayer of Ezra in chapter 9. He prayed vehemently. Yes, to us belong the confusion of faces. Many of us are confused because of the way the world has manipulated the Most High's word as far as his commandments, statutes, and ordinances. Well, what do I mean by that? I mean, look at what they did with the temple. They confused that to say the top of his temple was badger skin. Then they come back in that damnable book called the New Testament and says, God let a thing down and says kill and eat, and then they come back and say, well, that means that the Gentiles, that means you can eat pork, anything you want to. But really, the children of Jacob, not the Jews. The Jews are a whole different people. I don't know who they are. They're pagan, they're hypocritical people. But the real children of Jacob, Israel, did not associate themselves with others, because they knew the world was very wicked and paganistic. Now he says, now when Ezra had prayed, when he had confessed weeping and casting himself down before the house of the Most High, there assembled unto him out of Israel a very great congregation of men and women and children, for the people wept very sore. Apparently this man, the Mehelmet, he cried and pulled out his hair and rent his garment. I mean, this man was so you can think about the sweat running from his body and his wet clothes, talking before God because he loved God, and not only that, he knew God's power from his past. And apparently somebody heard it and told somebody as he prayed. And then now you had the men and children. He lifts his eyes up, and here they are weeping and crying before the Most High. We've sinned, we've sinned. See, we have to get to that point too. We have to get to that point to where we change. Not just how you do it in church. You go for the mourner's bench. Then you get the speaking of some type of tongue nobody knows about. It could be a dark tongue, an evil tongue towards the Most High. We don't know what that is. But we know they took it from the book of Enoch. The proof is in the pudding. Now, congregation of men and women, for the people wept very sore. They was to see a man weep like that before God and to hear his words is something else. Now, Shechaniah, the son of Jehiel, one of the sons of Elam, answered and said unto Ezra, we have trespassed against our God, and have taken strange wives of the people of the land, yet now there is hope in Israel concerning this thing. Now therefore let us make a covenant with our God to put away all the wives, and such are born of them according to the counsel of my God, and of those that tremble at the commandment of our God, and let it be done according to the law. Yes. This is where we do things. This is the true child of Jacob. He does things according to the law, not according to Jesus, according to that which proceeded out the mouth of God. God is not the Father. God is the creator. There is no Father that created everything. A Father is created. Isus is derivative of Deuteronomy chapter 28, that he might set you far apart from him, even that you might forget your creator and the one who have chose your father Abraham out of many. Now, and then he said in verse 4, arise, for this matter belongeth unto thee, for we will be with thee. Be of good courage and do it. These people saw the error of their ways, and that they love God more than they love their own families. Then arose Ezra and made the chief priests and the Levites and all Israel swear that they should do according to this word as they swear. Now you have to realize the Levites really were charged to this. They were charged not to take wives. Only a Levite priest could only take the wife that was born of a Levite, born or conceived from Levites. Period. He don't have to be a priest, just a Levite in general. To swear that they should do according to this word, and they swear. And he read the law to them. We don't have all the law. We just have what the heathen put there for us. And then Ezra rose up from before the house of the I Am and went into the chamber of Johanan, the son of Elishib. And when he came thither, he did eat no bread, nor drink water, for he mourned because of the transgressions of them that had been carried away. He knew why they were carried away. And you have these heathenistic black folks and heathenistic Africans and all that. Wonder, why were you carried away? Why are you scattered all over the globe? Why are you the tail and not the head? And you come up with all kind of cockamamie stuff and then don't realize that you have sinned and transgressed against the law, statute, commandments of the Most High, even your ancestors, and you continually do it to this day. This is why it is a curse. Not that you are cursed, but it is a curse what you are doing. It will cause you to be cursed. But this is a reprimand that you might return back unto the Almighty. Yes. And that they should gather themselves together unto Jerusalem, that whosoever would not come within 3 days according to the counsel of the princes and the elders and all his substance should be forfeited and himself separated from the congregation of those that had been carried away. Verse 9, and then all the men of Judah and Benjamin gathered themselves together unto Jerusalem within 3 days. It was the 9th month. How did they know it was the 9th month? Because they started from the month of Abib. They knew the number of the months. And on the 20th day of the month, and all the people sat in the street of the house of the I Am, trembling because of this matter, for the great rain. And Ezra the priest stood up and said unto them, ye have transgressed, and have taken strange wives, pagan wives, Christian wives, and you trying to do that which is right before the Most High, she draw you back and tear down her house. She will not let your God be her God, but she will continue to worship that which God forbid. Even the first commandment, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Because if your Jesus is a power before the Most High, or your Gabriel is a power before the Most High, you are in idolatry. Period. And have taken strange wives to increase trespass against Israel. These were Levites also, forbidden to take any wives except for that of the house of Levi. Now therefore make confessions unto the I Am your God, your fathers, and do his pleasure, and separate yourselves from the people of the land and from the strange wives. They're not Levites. The women are not Levites. This is why they kept their genealogies. They kept their seed line. Whose father, and what daughter. They knew all this stuff. And then all the congregation answered and said with a loud voice, as thou hast said, so we would do. They said, so will we do. As they said in Exodus chapter 19. So we must do. But the people are many. And it is a time of such rain, and we are not able to stand without. Neither is this a work of 1 day or 2, for we are many and have transgressed in this thing. Now let our rulers and all the congregations stand, and let all them which have taken strange wives in our cities come at appointed times, and with them the elders of every city and the judges thereof, until the fierce wrath of our God is for this matter be turned from us. Verse 15. Only Jonathan, the sons of Ashiel, and Yahazi, the son of Tikva, were employed about this matter, and Meshulam and Shabbathai, the Levite, helped him. Now, the children of captivity did so, and Ezra the priest with certain chiefs and fathers after the house of their fathers, and all of them by their names, was separated and sat down in the first day of the 10th month to examine the matter. And they made an end with all the men that had taken strange wives by the first day of the first month. That would be, we're going into the 10th month now. And among the sons of the priests were found that had taken strange wives, namely the sons of Yeshua, and the son of Yezodek, and his sons Maaseiah, and Eleazar, and Jarib, and Gedaliah. And they gave their hands that they would put away their wives, and being guilty, they offered a ram and a flock for their trespass. This is loving God here. You gave up something that was near and dear to you. Your heathen wife that will not obey, will not give in. She would worship her Jesus and her whatever, go to the rock and kiss it and all these other things and worship all kind of idols. That's love for God. This is why you have to take on a wife that would be like Ruth. Your God will be my God. Your people will be my people. Chiefly, your God will be my God. This is the kind of wife you want, young man, older man. And they gave their hands that they would put away their wives. Now, some women will try to deceive you. They will come and try to act like they're that way because of advantage for themselves. And they gave hands that they would put away their wives. Being guilty, they offered a ram and a flock. Verse 20. We're going to continue. And the sons of Immer, and Hanani, and Zebadiah, and the sons of Hiram, and Maaseiah, and Elijah, and Shemaiah, and Jehiel, and Uzziah, and the sons of Pashur, and Eoniah, and Maaseiah, and Ishmael, and Nethaniel, and Jozabad, and Elisa, and all also of the Levites, Joel, Sabad, and Shemi, and Keliah, and the same is Kelita, and Pithiah, and Judah, and Eleazar, of the singers also. These are still Levites now. They are of the tribe of Levi. Elisha, Shabib, and of the porters, Shalom, and Tilim, and Uri. Moreover, of Israel, the sons of Perosh, and Ramiah, and Jesiah, and Milkiah, and Meamin, and Eleazar, and Malchijah, that's a Yah on the end, and Benaiah. And the sons of Elam was Mahatanah, and Zechariah, and Jehiel, and Abidi, and Jemoth, and Elah. And the sons of Zatu, Elonai, and Elishabib, and Mattaniah, and Jeremoth, and Zabad, and Aziah. And the sons also of Bebai, and Jehonan, and Hanaiah, and Zabai, and Atli. And the sons of Benai was Meshulam, Maluk, and Adiah, and Jeshua, Beshiel, and Romoth. And the sons of Pahath Moab, and Adnah, and Sheliah, and Benaiah, and Maashiah, and Mat, and Bezaleel, and Benu, and Messiah. And the sons of, I'm just dissecting these words. And of the sons of Hiram was Eleazar, Ishiah, and Malchiah, and Shemaiah and Shimeon, Benjamin, Malach, and Shemariah. And the sons of Hashem was Mattaniel, Mattaniah, Zabad, Eliphet, Jeremiah, Manasseh, and Shimi. And the sons of Bemi was Madai, Amram, and Uel, Benaiah, and Bediah, Chelob, Benaiah, Meremoth, Elishabib, Mattaniah, Mattanai, and Jesal, and Beni, and Benul, and Shimi, and Shelemiah, and Nathan, and Adiah, and Machanibai, and Shashai, and Shirai, and Azareel, and Shelemiah, and Maria, and Shalom, and Amariah, and Joseph. It's kind of hot in here, really. And the sons of Nebo, Jediel, and Mattiah, Zebad, and Zebina, and Zadu, and Joel, and Benaiah, and all these had taken strange wives, and some of them had wives by whom they had children. I know it's tough. It's tough because, number one, when you have a pagan wife, Israelite, that is not of those who serve the 27 letters, that wife will teach your children, your seed, the evil of idolatry. Because she would always call on the names of her God from her youth and try to sway you that way. No, you just can't let that slide under the rug. She has to be as Ruth. Your God is my God. I will worship who you worship. This is the plight of the woman. Now she's going to be all messed up. You don't need her. You do not need her. What is she got, a big figure that you like? Or whatever? God has thousands, even hundreds of millions of them. But that woman that says, my God is your God. I worship your God. I teach my children your God. Because your God is my God, and he will be my God. This is what this is about. And if we do those things which the I Am commands us in his statutes, laws, and ordinances, we will have peace.
Walk with me.